Good morning and welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara Waters. Today, we're going to delve into a pressing issue that's been unfolding in the Gaza Strip, where nonprofit groups are calling on Israel to end what they describe as the weaponization of aid. This is a story that has far-reaching implications, not just for the people of Gaza, but also for the global community. As I sit here in our newsroom, I'm reminded of the countless times we've reported on humanitarian crises around the world and the importance of providing aid to those in need. But what happens when that aid is used as a tool of control? That's exactly what's being alleged by over 100 nonprofit organizations who claim that Israel is using its power to restrict the flow of humanitarian assistance into Gaza. According to reports from CBS News and The Guardian, these organizations have been unable to deliver even a single truck of supplies since early March. Dozens of requests to bring in food, medicine, water, and shelter items have been rejected, with Israeli authorities citing reasons such as the organizations not being authorized to deliver aid. This has resulted in a backlog of millions of dollars worth of goods stranded in warehouses in Jordan and Egypt, while hospitals in Gaza run short of basic supplies and civilians die from hunger and preventable illnesses. As I've spoken to experts and humanitarian workers on the ground, it's clear that this issue is not just about politics or policy, it's about people. It's about families who are struggling to survive, children who are going hungry, and innocent civilians who are caught in the middle of a conflict that seems to have no end. Now, I want to emphasize that we're committed to providing balanced coverage of this issue, and we'll be exploring different perspectives in the coming days. But for now, it's essential to acknowledge the gravity of this situation and the human cost of these restrictions. As one humanitarian worker told me, the starvation deaths in Gaza are not just a tragedy, they're a symptom of a broader problem, a problem that requires a collective response from the international community. As we continue to follow this story, I'll be speaking with experts, policymakers, and individuals affected by the crisis. We'll examine the historical context, the political dynamics at play, and the potential solutions that could help alleviate the suffering in Gaza. For now, it's essential to remember that this is not just a story about a distant conflict, it's a story about human beings who deserve our attention, our compassion, and our support. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into the complex world of international politics, where tensions between nations can have far-reaching consequences. Today, we're focusing on the delicate situation unfolding in Iran. As we explore this story, it's essential to understand the multifaceted nature of the conflict. The Iranian government, led by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is navigating a challenging landscape. On one hand, they face pressure from Western powers, including the United States and Israel, over their nuclear program. On the other hand, they're dealing with internal struggles, such as economic strain and growing discontent among the population. The recent statements from U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have heightened tensions, with warnings of potential strikes if Iran resumes uranium enrichment. This has led to a sense of unease in Tehran, where officials are weighing their options carefully. The formation of a defense council to ensure command continuity is a telling sign of the government's concerns about its stability. It's also important to consider the perspectives of ordinary Iranians who are bearing the brunt of the economic sanctions and international isolation. Many are struggling to make ends meet, with daily blackouts and water shortages becoming increasingly common. The frustration and disillusionment among the population are palpable, with some even questioning the government's ability to govern effectively. As we analyze this situation, it's crucial to acknowledge the various stakeholders involved and their competing interests. The Iranian government is trying to balance its own needs with the demands of external powers, while also addressing the grievances of its citizens. The international community, meanwhile, is watching closely, with some calling for a more diplomatic approach to resolve the standoff. As we continue to monitor this developing story, it's clear that the path forward will be fraught with challenges. Will Iran and Western powers find common ground, or will tensions escalate further? How will the Iranian government respond to growing internal pressure, and what will be the consequences of their decisions? These are just some of the questions we'll be keeping a close eye on in the coming days and weeks. For now, it's essential to remain informed and engaged as the situation in Iran continues to unfold. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we close out today's show, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on a significant anniversary that's being observed in different ways by two major world powers, Japan and China. The end of World War II is a pivotal moment in history, and how it's remembered and commemorated can have lasting implications for international relations. As we've seen, Japan marks the anniversary with a solemn ceremony on August 15th, the day then Emperor Hirohito announced the country's surrender in a radio broadcast. This year, Emperor Naruhito and Prime Minister Fumio Kishida will make remarks at the annual ceremony in Tokyo, expressing deep remorse for Japan's actions during the war. Meanwhile, China is preparing to showcase its military strength with a grand parade on September 3rd, the day after the formal surrender on an American battleship in Tokyo Bay. This event is expected to feature missiles, tanks, and fighter jets, with Russian President Vladimir Putin among the dignitaries attending. It's worth noting that the legacy of World War II still casts a long shadow over relations between Japan and China. The two countries have conflicting interpretations of wartime history, and the ongoing territorial dispute in the East China Sea continues to be a point of tension. As we consider these developments, it's essential to approach the topic with sensitivity and nuance. Both Japan and China have legitimate perspectives on their shared history, and it's crucial to acknowledge the complexities and challenges that arise from these differing views. In recent years, China has stepped up its efforts to commemorate the end of World War II, designating September 3rd as Victory Day and staging large-scale military parades. This renewed focus on the anniversary comes at a time of rising tension with Japan over issues like territorial claims and historical revisionism. As we look to the future, it's clear that the way Japan and China choose to remember and commemorate the end of World War II will have significant implications for regional stability and global security. By engaging in open and respectful dialogue, we can work towards a deeper understanding of the complexities at play and strive for a more peaceful and cooperative world. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.